Okay, so can you please introduce yourself in
Yeah.
brief?
Okay. So I am a web developer with a knowledge in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and I have worked on several projects. And I applying my knowledge to create and enhance web applications. So basically, my experience includes designing user-friendly interface and implementing my knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to interactive element to meet the project requirement. So basically, yeah, this is my
Okay.
introduction. Yeah.
Okay. So, can you describe your recent project?
Okay, so one of my recent project is a online recipe book. Basically, it
Mm-hmm.
is a web-based application which is designed to allow users to search, views, and share cooking recipes. And it is built by using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it
Mm-hmm.
offer a clean interface that actually make it easy for us to navigate through different types of recipes category, such as we can go through desserts and we can directly go to the main course and snacks and etc. So we can also submit our own recipe by filling out just a simple form. So basically this project highlight the practical applications of web development skills to solve a real world problems. Okay, so by just making a cooking inspiration easily accessible to everyone, basically this project
Mm-hmm.
makes a very good ecosystem. So yeah, this is my
Okay.
project.
Okay. So, you made this online recipe book. Okay.
Yeah.
So, which version of HTML did you use? I mean, HTML only or HTML5?
Basically, I
Uh,
used HTML5 in this project.
okay. So,
Yeah.
what is HTML and what's the difference between HTML and HTML5? Can you please
Okay,
tell me?
so HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's just like the skeleton of a websites, which
Mm-hmm.
allowing us to create sections, paragraphs, and headings and links for a web page and application. Okay, so and
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about the HTML5, it is the latest version of HTML. Okay, so the
Mm-hmm.
main difference between them is the HTML5 includes very new features, just like they allow for more diverse and powerful websites without needing the additional software. Just like we previously used the Flash. Basically, it supports video and audio element directly in the browser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so HTML5 offer better support for our web applications, and it also includes new element that help our structures and our content more semantically. So yeah, this
Okay.
is the main difference between HTML and HTML.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
while making HTML web pages, so we write,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we declare doc type uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the top right.
Yeah.
So, can you please tell me, like, what's the role of the doc type in HTML?
Okay, so basically the doc type declaration in HTML is just like a direct instruction to the web browser, which is about the version of HTML, and it's the first thing that appears in HTML document. And by using the doc type, we actually telling the
Mm-hmm.
browser that which rules to follow and when to follow while displaying the page. So basically, it ensured that it understand how to correctly render the content. So it is important to make sure that our websites look right across the different browsers. So basically, this is the role of doc type in HTML.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you used semantic elements while writing
Yeah.
HTML code?
Yeah. I just use semantic elements. So
Okay.
semantic elements. Yeah. I
Yeah,
just
so can you name the few semantic elements? I mean, one or two, anyone, whichever you have used.
Okay, so basically, I used semantic. Basically, I will tell you what about the semantic element is. Semantic
Mm-hmm.
element in HTMLs are those types of element that clearly describe their meaning to both the browser and developer. Okay, so
Okay.
they make sure that the web page structures are more understandable and by indicating the role of that part of the document. such as we
Mm-hmm.
just use the article tag for the article, and we use the footer tag for just a footer heading, and the header
So
tags for.
have you used these tags like
Yeah, yeah,
article
yeah,
and
yeah,
footer?
yeah. I just use that tag, article
Okay, okay.
tag, footer tag, navigation tag.
Okay, so have you used
Yeah,
div uh,
yeah,
tag in your
yeah, yeah.
okay,
Basically,
okay.
I
So
use.
is it semantic element or what?
Div is not considered as a semantic element because it does not
Okay.
provide any meaning about its content. So yeah, div is not considered a semantic element. It's just a general
Mm-hmm.
container which is used for styling and grouping element without indicating about the content it represents. So the div is not considered as
Okay,
a
okay.
semantic element. Yeah,
Okay, so moving ahead,
yeah.
can you please tell me the purpose of nav bar element in HTML? Nav element, basically.
Uh, okay. So the nav element in HTML is designed to indicate a section of a page that links to other page. So within the page, okay. So and it's essentially serving as a guide for navigating the website. Basically, it's a semantic element which tell the browser that the content inside is primarily for navigation or not. So this helps in improving accessibility, and it is making sure that it easier for user to find and use the navigation link. So typically we should use the nav element to wrap around the main menu of our website. So yeah, this is the basically main purpose of nav element in HTML.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is inline style in CSS and when to use it in real applications, like
Okay.
real world
Uh,
example and all? Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
okay. So basically, the inline style in CSS is just a method in which we can applying styles directly to the HTML element by
Mm-hmm.
using the style attribute. So it allows us to specify the CSS properties and values within the HTML tag. Okay, so
Okay.
let's take example. So we can change the color of a paragraph text directly in its opening tag without using the
Mm-hmm.
separate CSS file or style section. Okay, so using inline styles is generally less efficient as compared to method like the external style sheet, which is more comfortable and good method to use. But
Mm-hmm.
because it mix the content with presentation and it make our HTML more rush type. Okay, so because but we can use it different kind of situation in a real application. So we can use it where we can applying a unique style to a single element without affecting others. Okay, so we can
Okay.
also use it in a quick testing where we want to
Mm-hmm.
see the changes immediately without editing a CSS file. So yeah, these are two types of real application I know where we can use
Okay.
the outside the CSS. Yeah.
Okay. So do we have other styles as well in CSS apart from this inline?
Yeah, where particularly applying there is a style section we can use. Okay, so external is one of the main attribute where we can use the CSS, applying the CSS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So which is more efficient?
Basically, the
Wait.
more efficient one is the external type because we it is more efficient because we can use it in a different page or side by side to make it more efficient and easy to understandable and readable. So this is the main efficient one.
Okay.
External style sheet are more efficient one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So moving ahead. Can you tell me the five advantages of external style sheet?
Okay, so external style sheets are very powerful way to manage and apply CSS styles across the website. Uh, I can explain the five advantages of external style sheets. So the first one
Okay.
is consistency, which make our websites more professional and easier to navigate. And the second one is maintenance. When we need to make a change, such as updating the color scheme or font size, we only have to edit one file instead of updating styles to every element. So basically, it saves times and reducing error. Okay, so the third one we can say is performance. So this reduce the page load times and enhance the user experience. And fourth one is we can say the separation of content and presentation. This approach make
Okay.
our code more organized and readable and accessible to developer and tools. And the last one we can say is the flexibility. So this allow us to easily cater to various user requirement and preference by simply linking to suitable style sheet. So these are the five advantages which I know about the external style sheet. So yeah, these are the main
Mm.
five.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving ahead, what are the selectors in CSS and how many types of selectors are there? So can you please explain?
Okay, so basically, selector in CSS are patterns which is used to select the HTML elements that we want to
Mm-hmm.
style. Okay, so they let us to target specific element based on their name, based on their ID, based on their
Mm-hmm.
classes and attributes, and more. And
Okay.
they allow us for precious and flexible styling options. So basically, this is the selector in CSS. And when we talk about the types of CSS selector, so I
Mm-hmm.
know the several types. The first one
Okay.
is type selector. So this selector
Okay.
can target the element by their tag name, just like the we
Mm-hmm.
can use the P for the paragraph. So this is the type selector, and the second one we can say is class selector. So this selector
Mm-hmm.
target elements by their class attributes. So it can fix with a dot by using a dot, which is allowed for group of the class. Okay, so the third one we can selector is id selector. So this selector target a unique element by its id attributes. Okay, so we can use it by using the hash function. By
Mm-hmm.
using a hash we can actually select the id of that element. Okay, the fourth one
Okay.
is attribute selector. This selector target elements based on the presence or value of a given attribute. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the last one is very general, and which is a universal selector. This selector targets all the elements in the particular document. So yeah, these are the five selector which I know.
Okay.
Types of five.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So can you explain this universal selector in
Okay,
more
so
details?
okay. So basically, the universal selector in CSS are just like the wildcard that can match any
Okay.
and every element of the web page. So basically, they are represented by the asterisk symbol, which is also we can say the star symbol. And when we
Mm-hmm.
use the universal selector, we actually applying a particular style to every single element within the scope. So, for example, if we are just writing margin 0 and padding 0 in our css, so in
Mm-hmm.
this means we are setting all the elements margin and padding at 0. Okay, so this can be
Okay.
especially good for the resetting browser default styles to ensure consistency across the different browser. So these are the uses of universal selector, and these are the definition and all I know about the universal selector. Yeah.
Okay. So do we have child selectors as well in CSS?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay. Can you
child
explain that?
selector. Okay, so basically in CSS, child selector let us to style element that are direct children of a specific parent. Okay, so
Okay.
basically it means that they are just one level below their parent and in HTML structure. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So these selectors does not affect element that are further nested or at other levels. We can use the greater than symbol to represent the child selector. So yeah, these
Okay.
all I know about the child selector.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So moving forward,
Mhm.
can you please tell me the difference between display inline and display block?
Okay, so okay, I will tell you the difference between the display inline and display block. Basically, the
Mm-hmm.
display property in CSS define how elements are displayed on a particular web page, and inline and block are the two values that can be used with this property. Okay, so the element which are set to be display inline flows within the text and do not start a new line. Okay, so an inline element only take up as much as width as necessary, and we cannot set its width and height property. So this is the display inline property. And when we talk about the display block, which is the we can say the element that starts on a new line and take up full width that is available to them. Okay, so we can also
Mm-hmm.
set the width and height and properties of block level element. So these types of elements are display block element. So yeah, these are the main difference between the display
Okay.
inline and display block element.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, what's the role of float property in CSS?
Okay, so float property in CSS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So the float property in CSS is basically used to place an element to the left or the right side of its corner, and float property allowing other element to wrap around it. Okay. So let's
Okay.
take example. It's sometimes used to push image to one side of the page while text flows around them. So when you applied the float left or float right to a particular element, it moves to the specific side, and text or inline element will flow around it on the other side. Okay, so the float property is
Mm-hmm.
useful for creating layouts, and it is very helpful to align content in a specific and particular way. But
Mm-hmm.
it can sometimes lead to unexpected layout issues, and if not clearly cleared properly with the clear property in substitute element. So yeah, this is the float property in CSS. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah,
okay.
moving ahead. Can you please tell me what are some important string operation in JavaScript?
String operations in JavaScript. Okay, so in JavaScript we are use strings to store and manipulate text. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now I will give some important operations we can perform on in string. So first one is concatenation. So
Mm-hmm.
in this string we can join two or more strings together. And the
Okay.
second one is slicing. So in these strings we can cut a part of a string to create a new string. And
Okay.
the third one string is searching. So
Mm-hmm.
in this string, we can find where the particular piece of text is located within the string. Okay, so the fourth one we can say is replacing. So in this string, we can change a part of the string with another text. So basically, this is the replacing. And the fifth and the last one I know is converting case. So in this
Okay.
string, we can change a string to all uppercase and all lowercase, which whatever we want to do, which is very helpful for comparing text. So this is the some important string operations in JavaScript.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, while searching piece of text within a string, so what algorithm JavaScript use internal? Can you please tell me?
Uh, while searching piece of text in particular,
Text uh, within a string, as
yeah, yeah,
you said something like we have a
searching
searching
string,
thing.
yeah,
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 yeah.
searching
So I'm
string.
just asking. Yeah, yeah. So I'm asking like, what algorithm JavaScript use internally to search that piece of text within a string?
Okay, basically, JavaScript use which algorithm? Uh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Which I'm asking.
JavaScript used searching algorithm, or I don't know about that very much in deep. All I
Okay,
know
okay.
about the searching strings. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
no
aware of
problem.
the
So,
algorithm. Yeah, okay.
are you aware about the binary search or linear search algorithm?
Binary search or linear search. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm not in aware of these types of in deep, basically. Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's move to
Okay.
the next one. So, what are the data types in JavaScript? Can you please
Okay, so
tell me what?
basically, data types in JavaScript defines the types of data we can work with. So basically, they are
Mhm,
the two main category of the data types in JavaScript. The first one we can say is primitive data types, and the second one is objective data types. So
mhm,
first, we will explain about the primitive data types. So in the primitive data types, there is a number. Okay, so
mhm,
strings and booleans, and there is a null and symbol and big
mhm,
int. So these are all included in the primitive data types. And when we talk about the objective data types, so we have the
mhm,
objectives itself and the array, and function is also in objective data types. So yeah,
mhm.
these are the data types in JavaScript. So basically two types, primitive data types and objective data types. So yeah, these are the two
Okay,
data types. Okay. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So, moving ahead, what's the difference between spread and rest operator in JavaScript?
Spread and rest operator in JavaScript. Okay, so
Mhm,
in JavaScript, both the spread and the rest operator use the same syntax, and
mhm,
but they got different purpose based on what they are used. Okay, so when we talk about the
mhm,
spread operator, it means that suppose if we have an array and we want to create a new array with the same element plus a new one, okay, we can use the spread operator in that condition or in that situation. It's just like taking all item out of the box and spreading them into a new space. So basically this is the spread operator, and as its name itself says. And
mhm.
when we talk about the rest operator, it does the opposite things. Basically, it does it by collecting multiple elements into a single array, and it is used in a function parameter to capture any number of arguments passed in that function into a single array. So basically,
Okay.
in short, we can say that the spread operator is about spreading out element into a new context, and while the rest
Mhm.
operator is about collecting multiple elements into a single one. So basically, this is the main difference I know about the spread and the rest operator in JavaScript.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So moving ahead,
Okay.
how will we sort and reverse an array in JavaScript I mean, within very less line of code?
Okay, so while sorting an array, we can
Mhm.
use the method sort method, and this method
Okay.
arrange the element of an array in a certain order. So if we
Mhm.
are sorting numbers, we will sometimes provide a comparison function to sort them correctly. Okay, so while
Okay.
reversing an array, we can use the reverse method. So it simply reverses the order of element in an array. Okay, so
Mhm.
it means that the first elements become the last, and the last element become the second to last, and so on, so on. So basically, these types of methods directly modify the original array. And if we
Mhm.
need to keep the original array unchanged, we should first copy the array and then apply these methods on the copy itself. So yeah, this is
Okay.
how to sort and reverse an array.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So I think you must use the loops, right?
yeah,
So I
definitely.
just want to know the difference between while and do while loops. Can you please tell
Okay.
me? I mean,
Uh,
which to use when? Yeah,
yeah.
explain.
Okay, okay. So, a while loop and do while loop are both used in a program. These loops are basically used to repeat a block of code multiple times. Okay, so the main difference between them is when they check their condition. So a
Mhm.
while loop check its condition before running the code inside the loop. On other hand, when we talk about the do while loop, it's runs the code at least once inside the loops and then check the condition. So basically, the main
Okay.
difference we can say that is with the while loop, we check first before doing anything, and with the do while loop, we do something at least once and then check if we should keep it doing it or not. So yeah, these are the main difference between the while and do while loops.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, Can you please tell me the purposes and like what's the purpose of try, block, and throw statements in JavaScript?
uh, Throw statement in JavaScript. uh,
Yes.
Throw statements basically, sorry, I'm not aware. I have no idea about the throw statements in JavaScript.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
No problem.